Gentlemen, ladies, my name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If I Was in Winx Club. So, it's I'm making this the What If. So I don't believe anyone made a What If. You could see a title of it. What if I was in Winx Club? So, my character is gonna be like super buffed, man. Like he's strong as any ordinary kid. And his sister, one was blue, and one was, I forgot one thing. Give me a moment. It was the one. So, here, hold on. There we go. So, so Blue's sister and her and him were living in the kingdom. And one day, the king decides to ask Chen, or my character, to go, and train with the soldiers. So he did, and he became a cool-headed kid that is so calm that he could go slice on anyone. Plus, he also, when the old witches came, of course, before, Cinnamon trained harder and harder, and the king told him he doesn't need. Hold on. So the king and I'm just trying to use it. But my character, or the king, told him to try not to push yourself too hard, as he already did. Now he passed the guns, mortals, everything. Like, even one single move could turn him into a monster knight, or darkest knight. That's what I say. And no, I'm not talking about the one villain called, I call it Darkest Knight one. It's not him. But my character is 100 times more powerful than him. Like, he could beat Valtor at anything. So he went to Graham King and their mother. Then after or before he actually copied them and used a special technique called switch power. So he basically put them inside of him and put a clone of them where they were standing. So when he got to there, he saw his clone parents got killed. And so he became a knight that or darkest or ultimate darkness knight. He is like vicious. He even has like Kratos' blades of like fiery things, as he could, or his weapon could change into any to everything. Like he slaughtered millions, trillions, billions of people. And he also killed the three witches. Just one by one, two by two, three by three. But nothing can stop him. But then when he got to Bloom's bedroom and saw her in her toddler form, he remembers that he only wanted to do it and to become stronger so that his sister or his sisters want to be proud of him. Because he made an oath that he made a promise to his sister that no matter who shall stand in my way, I will cut everyone down. Or he actually told his sister that as his, like, she is her middle sister and Bloom is her or his younger sister. So she told them, or he told them to be safe, you two. Or our sister will have the power to destroy me. But as he says no, as he gets out of there and he seals himself for quite a long time, he won't do blood again. So then days gone past. Bloom was got older, and she is not cranky, but she couldn't believe, or when she was just like, she went to school like a normal kid, but she always had, but then one day the witches, or actually one day she found where he was sleeping he or she says this is it, the internal slumber of, because she heard stories of how powerful he gets, how dangerous he is. As she was a princess, as she wants his power to rival anyone's. So he went and opened it. And man, when she did, he came out as he says, "Who woke me from my slumber?" As I did. As she says, "Now you work for me." I do not know you. Oh. As he knows that he could cause some havoc if you, or she says, if you obey me, I know where your little sister's at. As he got, or when he heard that sister's still alive, you know, as he says, go ahead, tell me more. As there's this one school that loves wizards. I want you to go, kill some of them, or cause some mayhem in the city. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. As he goes, jumps off, like he says, as like, I'll be back. Oh, I'll be waiting here. As she was as she called her friends up. And she told them about how powerful, or she told them that she released my character's true name is Chance. Something. It's like blue. I forget her last name, but so she tells them that it's now ready. As she says, huh? Or really? Huh? Can't wait to see his power. Because everybody is afraid of his power. As there was, let's say there was destruction. And everybody was running away, and fairies and warriors had to, and the all three schools had to work together to go deal with this threat. But what Blue didn't know that her own brother is back into. So she, saw how much destruction as he says, huh, this is bores me. Where's your best warriors? That would make things interesting. I hope that you don't disappoint me. As a blade comes out, it was Sky, he, and his men. And I'll just use this picture because some reason my phone decides to be ST. So, as Wings Club flies around, like, the looks like fairies and warriors are working together. How amused. As he stopped, as he could sense this aura from as he looks up at Blue, all upset. As he could tell that it's his sister. As he puts his sword away. And he had the power of gravity, so he basically flew him up. Or everybody is grouped up, and they're trying to take him out. Huh. Oh look, there's little party crashers, aren't they? As he says, or in his head, he says, well, my sister found some new comrades to play. It's just so sad I have to. As he comes in, and one of the not dark side, but no, not her. I'm trying to look for I forget her name, but she's like a principal. It was actually her. She says, Chasman, as she knew who Chasman was, as because of he with all three of them couldn't stand a chance, but they said, "Why are you guys here?" As they said, "Well, no, we know him as his own." "Yes, I do know you real well, Tora. Huh? Or should I say, Principal of the Fairies? How gladly to show you. Looks like you picked up some." As they start fighting, as he slaughtered, like he just like took out him and her. And her too. Okay. Don't mind then. Okay. So sorry about that. That was as someone on the other line. So I or so in so they only, of course, he literally walked up to her and didn't stab her. No, of course, the only minor set bruises, not, or they both got knocked, or all of them got knocked out. As he, or as she says, "I know you're still in there, Chance. Just cool down, calm down. Hung. You've always been there for all of us. You're always so kind heart. What happened to you those days?" As he says, "It was not me. I tr-" As he, as his voice inside of talked through him, it, I try to remember. As he turns to Bloom's voice, only she could have the power to kill me. Just as a voice inside of his head, it was hers, says, "Come back to me." As or they brought him back up and he came back. As he turns around to look at his sister, as he says, "Blue, we will meet again. And but I will make sure that and you will kill me." As he was, or So he flew away, and with those three witches. As one of the Winx clubs says, "Who was that?" Yeah, what was it? The as toward or whatever her name is, the one that's on the bottom, her. She, he says it's time for you guys to know the ugly truth behind Chanman. As she explains to them that Chanman was always or wasn't always been evil till one day, or he he tried to train himself to be stronger, way more faster than the average human. He was passing Nan's level, like his strength. Sorry, don't mind that. So she says, but sadly, he was my favorite friend. He he was like my brother, but he always does. As she tells him that she or that Sherman was always been showed mercy to everybody. As one of them says, "What had happened to him? He after he passed on, then what happened?" Well, since since he passed levels of unnatural, hence his body became so corrupted. One false move he could consumed by his own rage, his own hate. As but one day, or actually, you know him, Blue. As she looks at Blue, and she says, "What do you mean?" As when she told her and them that Shenman is her brother from from the birth parents. As she starts crying and she couldn't believe that her own woman, she was I'm trying to look for no no as she tells there's one thing. He wasn't truly evil. And he is not bloodthirsty as Sky was like. So basically, he is super kind. He knows sword combat and he also knows magic and sorcery and like he knows all that stuff, right? As as she looked at as she tells him, yes, the but he's always super intelligent. Like he always knew when things got rough. Now, back at the her castle, as she wanted when she saw his as he or she wanted to my original plan was for or that girl or Ice or Stormy all and or her to ask the dark or ultimate dark lord to remove his helmet or my original plan was to make this into like a like not super dirty but just enough so that the princess asked him to remove his helmet. As she commands him to do it. As he removed his helmet and saw his face, she wanted him. So did the other three. Secretly, yeah. As he puts it back on. But now it was okay. So Bloom is like, switch back over to her. She says, "I can't believe my own brother did all that destruction, and but there's no one actual killed." As Sky knows that if Blue whom is taking on her brother alone, at least that they need to gather up some intel. So she says, well, I have a little bit more good news too. Only way to like force him to become good again is by remembering or forcing him to remember who he was. His name was Henman, and 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 he always been so super calm. He always been, when he was once called that, he always responds to, like, yeah, let's, as he knows or she knows that they might use it against him. So, as now, in the other one, like our other part, other side, she, or, or actually, they, and ready, night, and as he says, ready to face against my little sister off, or this final battle. As she says, good. Ready, witches? Yep. Let's see how, well, as with that much power that he contains. So he said that, he's probably good for being Blues' brother. Let's see how strong he will get. Because, as one of them said, what I heard was, when you say he is weak, then to him, or he becomes a lot more aggressive. As he attacks again, but then they're like, Jasmine, stop. As he turns, or he does like that. He turns to his, as Blue is like, ready, little brother? Or oldest brother? As he says, yes, little sister. It is time for us to finish this. As she used dragon fire attack, and he used flame shield, and Sky says, Chen, his man, and remember who you are. As he's like trying to remember, as a dragon fire hits him in the chest, boom. as sending him flying backwards. As Ice he flies over there and says, "If you are so weak." You, or actually, not Ice, but it was her disguised as Blue and made him think that as real Blue saw what she was doing to her brother, and she couldn't believe that as he got madder and madder, then soon he became so mad, he pulled out these and starts chopping and slicing. And Blue, who flies really close as he stopped his attack. Few centimeters from her stomach, as she hugs him, tells her that you aren't weak, you are strong, brother. I really do care about you. As he is in sister, as they see his tear coming down his face, he's as he dropped his blade, or the blade retracted back into his arm, as he gave her a hug. As he dropped his helmet off, showed his real self of being a strongest, as he tells Blue that I just wanted you to see me as strong, not weak. As his sister, or both of his sisters, knew that he wasn't weak. So, you know what he did? Or actually, Ice decided to freeze her in place, as right in front of him, as he says, as he turns and looks at those three and said, and monsters, as he pulls out his blades and his blades became like what you see on their screen right now, and they ended up getting killed. Like those three were no more. They were piles of ashes, as he used his flame and put Blue inside of his arms, as he says, I am here for you, always here, you brother or sister. I knew As, of course, she knows that. But she didn't need him anymore. As she pets her stomach. Because to those days, she was a child with my character. Basically, she says, now you gave birth to new life. I can't wait. As he was like, kind of like he, or actually, he was talking, or actually, because, it, so his darkness lifted. So he was talking to her way more. Like, man, I know that I'm not trying to be rude, but man, you sure got old. As she knows that he's so polite. As she tells him, man, you're so polite still. Some, as she says, hmm, I want you to let me introduce you to one of my friends. As she got introduced to, or actually to everybody that was in there. Heck, they even survived. So they were like, I really want to go toe to toe with you, Chance. I know you're big brother to Blue, but let's see how powerful you really get. And when he said powerful, before he said powerful, he gets punched right in the chest, or like right in the face thing. And he says, huh, wow. So tell me more about this schools. As she knows that it's her, or so she explains that, like, there are three types of schools: fairies, witches, and the, well, warriors. I know that you have all three of the abilities, but you really don't need to learn all those. But you are sure need to learn how to do swordplay and magic again. As he says, yeah, it has been a while since. So, but still, I have to do one thing. It, as he walks away, or like he flies away real quick, or actually he where's my baby sister? As she as she knew now her brother, so she got a hug from her brother, and she tells her that ready for, or actually, her brother told her that, are you ready to see our birth parents again? And she says, yep. Or actually, she didn't know at first. But then when he told her, or actually, he flew back, or he flew where they saw, as his actually, he used the flame blade, stabbed himself with it, and pulled out the two spirits. Or should I say, opened himself up to pull out both of their parents from his body, as both of them were like, good job, son, for saving our lives. And so he said, no sweat, in his armor, like, no sweat, just, I finally found my little baby sister. Don't worry, she already knows that I'm this big, darkest lord. So, as he comes back, but that's in, sorry. So one day when he got introduced, or actually, they Blue was happy to be has a live sibling, but she got a surprise for it. Yeah, that's what her brother says. I got this little surprise for you. I hope that you are happy for it. And she says, yeah. As she gets her eyes covered, and she like, and there's, as he, ready? Now remove them. As they both like, or all three of them gave hugged, and how did you survive? It's your brother that saved us from it. Now, and they're doing the introductions things. The switch over to her that she had was a dark kid, darkness kid. That's what I'm. He has, as her power and but her he has everything from his hands, like darkness. He she trained him to use a blade and all that stuff. So he has that same powers, and so Blue says, or actually, Hinman asked Sky if, or asked Blue, who is that guy with yellow hair, as she says, "Oh, that's Sky." As he, er, her brother says, "Sky is up there." No, silly. That's his actual name, Sky. As Sky walks over and he tells Blue that your brother really is such a, as he of course, as everyone's laughing because he knows that. So they trained with him for 1 week, or actually 2 weeks, and they hear this loud bang, boom, slice, slice kind, as it was Doom's, or Doctor, or not Doctor. It was supposed to be the Darkness Lord Jr. was attacking the city, and so, can I come? That's what her brother says, or as one of them says no, but Sky says, "Come on, let's see how powerful he really gets." As he jumps down so happily, and he runs faster than their motorcycles could take him. Like, sheesh, wow, really fast much? As she was like, "Good job, son. Now kill them all." As he's slicing and dicing everybody up. As he skids like, huh. It's kinda feels weird seeing you again, wherever you are. As she says, "Huh. You don't remember me, huh? Well, you might remember him. Dark Lord Jr.? Kill your father." As Dark Lord Jr. went and, he, defending himself against those attacks. As he says, "Huh. your name's Dark Lord Jr. Then it dawns on him, my son, as instead of like stabbed him, he puts one hand grabbed his blade and the other gave him a hug. As Dark Lord Jr. was crying, as everybody's like, or of course she's like, I command you to kill your father. As Blue is like upset that his father is my brother. I won't allow you to hurt him. As he says, really? As so they so now, and when during the witch school, at the STU students at oh, why did I do that? Why? Huh? Oh, Pum. Pumpkin. I forget. So, the girl that actually fell in love with him was actually was her. So she went and asked him to go on a date. And so he agrees, and because she knows that he is too powerful. So she, like, took his hand and actually kissed him. Or actually, she moved a helmet away from him and then kissed him. She told him that with all that power that you have is pretty awesome. So, you know what she did? She took him to her room and had a child. Basically, a more bright, happy one. The one that looks, or actually, it was two kids. One was happy as a clam, and the other was a more like her. And she was more social. And so she was kind of, at first, she was scared to date him, but then she realized that it was pretty fun. So, and so his power actually gave, he actually had a power to, instead of meeting with a woman, he actually could create a child from his own head. Basically, from his, I forget his name. Basically, from his imagination. So he created a female girl that looks like her, and she had her father's good looks, and she didn't have her mother's, but she did have her like father's personality of her anger thing. So, well, basically, but one day, Cloud, or actually, when they were like doing something, and some, or actually, one of the weapons missed and hits Blue, or not hits Blue, it like phases right through her. Like it didn't even touch her. It was pretty like safe. Like she, or he told her sorry, alright, as he was sobbing because he did not mean to, like, it, like, he hits a target, but the target flicked back so hard it sent it to back to where Blue was at, and so her friends, as of course one of them made a suggestion of how about us girls talk to Blue and you guys talk to her brother. That sounds like a great idea. So, as so they see him laying in the corner sobbing. Basically, as he says, "What's wrong?" And I know that it isn't your fault that, as he says, "Yes, it is." Because the blade was calibrated to not kill anyone. It So now she has split personality, as so basically she has double personality going, yes, it's thanks to my stupid blades. And it, if a person is like shot at, it doesn't harm them. It puts them in like their memories will be like two different ones. One save, one kill. Okay? So, but I did not mean to do that. So, they said, of course, I know, or we know that it wasn't your fault. So, the girls, so, so she went from being like happy, angry, like talking to different ones. Where she was sad, then angry, sad, then angry. As Chinmin says, I'll put you back together. Because how fast he moves, he teleports. And he used his own power of split soul thing to fuse them back together. As she was back to her old self. So, now this is the end.